Let us start. Let us talk about it. April. What's your plans for April? Come on, tell me. We got to talk about this because a lot of you plan on the spot. There's nothing wrong with a bit of spontaneity, right? But if we're honest, that sometimes means we waste money. That also sometimes means that, unfortunately, we waste time as well. So I want to talk to you about April planning. Sponsored by Greg's. Just kidding. So April, what's happening for you? Do you know what you're doing in April? I want to share with you some quick things, some sensible things that might be a good thing for us to focus on in April. Good morning. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? So, if you haven't already, set yourself a goal for April. April, give yourself a target. Now, obviously, because I'm very goals orientated, I'm going to suggest that you have a goal which is related to money. But for some of you, that's a bit awkward, and that's fine. So instead, set yourself a goal that relates to maybe something you want to do. Good morning. How you doing? How are you doing, ladies? So if you want to build your team that you're working with, if you want to launch a new program, if you want to start a new line in your merchandising business, whatever it is you want to do, either set a goal with a target that's measurable or set a financial goal. And this is really important. I've got to say to you that in the history of doing my coaching, the clients that get the best results work with goals, have a way of measuring, and they absolutely plan. They plan. They work with me and they get consistent in planning, getting a routine, so that well in advance they know what they're doing, right? And I've come on this morning to say, whatever you're planning for April, if you're launching something big, if you're doing something new, even if you're rerunning something you've run before, it's a sensible idea to set yourself a goal that you're going to work towards ahead of April. Now, I've spoken to a few people, different people, not my clients, and I've asked them the same question, and they've said, oh, you know, I've got an Easter offer on, I'm going to promote it in Easter. And I'm like, if you've got an Easter offer on, let me put this right for you, right? The sensible thing to do if you've got an Easter offer on is to promote it well before Easter. The sensible thing to do if you've got a May offer on or a bank holiday offer on is to promote it before May, right? Because what you want to do is you want to nurture relationships with people. So you're not just going to try and sell to them when it's Easter. You need to give them a kind of lead-in time. Do you know what a lead-in time is? Do any of you know what a lead-in time is? Let me know. Someone says, I've already purchased some little bunny bags. Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. So if you are in business and you're not planning ahead and you're not thinking through things, right? This live today will help you. I'm going to share some quick pointers. So you want to have a goal. You want to make it really obvious to yourself. What is it you're trying to achieve? And by when? Do you want to achieve it by the end of April? Do you want to have achieved it by the middle of April or maybe the end of May? Give yourself a realistic timeline to work with so that you're not feeling stressed, okay? Clients that I work with, they feel stretched sometimes, but they don't feel stressed. Could you put that in the comments for me, the word stretch? Because there's a difference between being stretched, as in pulled a little bit, versus stressed, where you are quite literally pulling your hair out. So if you actually want to get results in April, let's plan from now. Set yourself a goal, monetary or not, it doesn't matter. Then think about what's your offer going to be in April. What are you going to be offering? And are you aware of whether or not that offer is going to resonate with anyone? So if you've previously done it, then you know it's a proven service or product that probably is going to work. But just double check there's a demand for it, because a lot of the time, some of us will put things forward. We will, you know, share this new thing that's coming. And unfortunately, people aren't buying into it. It's not necessarily relevant. The timing might be wrong. The messaging of what you're doing might be wrong as well. So you need to make sure you've got the right formula or formulae, right? Plural Latin word, right? So make sure you've thought about the relevance of your offer. Do you have an offer? How relevant is it? Who is it for? Because it cannot be for everyone. Can't be for everyone. We already know that. If you try and promote to everyone, you will be heard by hardly anyone, okay? So we want to make sure that you're clear on your audience. Who are you targeting? What's the offer, right? Why would they buy from you now? You've got to get clear on that, okay? Then I want you to think about your messaging for April. So before April comes, what are you sharing with people in terms of key messages? Why would they buy from you? How's it going to help them transform? What can your product give them in terms of the benefits? I don't want to know about your 6-step program, the intricacies of it. I want to know what the outcomes of me doing your program are going to be, right? You can add in the features as well, but I actually want to know what you're going to do for me at the end of it. If you're a painter and decorator, I don't want to know about the number of rooms you've done in February and January. I want to know that when you do my bathroom or you do my bedroom or you transform my kitchen, the outcome is going to look like this. So you want to be showing me some before and after pictures as an example. So let's get clear on the messaging we're sharing. There's nothing wrong with mixing in features and benefits, but let's have some compelling messaging that actually does make it look like you have something that you're offering that people can buy. All right. If you don't yet have a lead generation tool, let me just say to you as well, as another point, think about whether or not you can create something that's going to build you some data in the back end where people have actually opted in to receive information from you. Right? Where they've said, oh, that was good. I want to sign up to her email. That live was great. I want to sign up to her email. And by the way, let me put my email sign up in this. That would be silly of me not to do that, wouldn't it? But if you are doing things like live stream videos and, you know, you're doing things like regular posts on consistent posts on your social, have a think about how you're capturing data. Have a think about if you're asking people for permission to add them to your mailing list. Have a think about whether or not you're building email subscribers, website subscribers, people that are going to potentially be commenting on your blog. Build a list. Because those same people that you have in your list, believe it or not, will be people that may be interested in buying your product or service or even referring you to someone else. Can you put a number 1 in the comments if that makes sense, please? You want to have some kind of way to either collect data or build a list, right? Drop a number 1 in the comments if you actually find that that makes sense for you. I'm just going to quickly put in my sign up for you in case any of you are not yet signed up, all right? So you want to make sure that you've got a sign up form or some way of collecting data. The other thing you want to do is to get crystal clear on how you are going to promote. So a lot of us, yeah, we got the vibe, we got the offer, we got the clients, or we think we've got an audience. Actually, what we need is clarity on how we're going to promote this thing. So in April, how are you promoting your offer? How are you going to tell the people that you're trying to promote to about what you've got on offer? Really important question. Morning, Angela. Really important question. So it doesn't matter if you do exhibitions and events, if you have an online masterclass that you do, if you have, let's say, a webinar that you do that's on maybe the kind of evergreen, repeated piece of content. You have to be aware of how you're going to promote it. How are you going to promote that you've got an online event? How are you going to promote your involvement in that expo? How are you going to promote that you've got a discount scheme? How are you going to promote that you actually going to be running a new course? You have to be very clear on that. So that's where the tactical side of it comes in. And let me just be very clear with you. Your strategy in marketing or building your brand and developing your brand is not the same as your tactical plan. Your tactical plan is the implementation, it's the detail, it's the line by line of when things are happening. The strategy is simply your intention and the kind of more generic viewpoint. We've got to get clear on this because I think a lot of you will say, oh, I need a strategy, and you don't actually know what you're talking about. So let me just be very clear. The strategy is the direction setting, and you don't have to know that bit. That's not necessarily why you're in business. But if you're hiring someone, make sure you ask for what you actually need. Strategy is the direction, giving you that guideline of what you're doing, why you're doing it. And the how and the detail is the tactical side. Right? So that's where you write a plan. Content marketing plan, social media marketing plan, brand development, right? All different types of plans, okay? So if you are not clear on the tactics you're going to use, make sure that your tactics feed into your strategy, your bigger picture. And I've been talking about this for a long time, peeps. The bigger picture should also then feed into your business goals, where you're trying to go in terms of growing your business. So if you've got multiple products, if you have, let's say, an e-commerce store, or you sell lots of beauty products, or you're a hairstylist, you've got lots of different wigs, try and focus on no more than 1 or 2 things. Because listen to me, if someone comes to your page or they watch your live based on that 1 or 2 things that you are promoting, they can still learn and find out about everything else. You don't have to chuck everything and your kitchen sink at them when you are doing your messaging and when you are choosing your tactics. All right? 3 types of tactics you also definitely want to consider are video, email, and social media. But there are lots of others. Referral schemes, sampling, lead magnets. There's loads of marketing tips. If you're not aware, I've got a Facebook community, and only if you want to actually take action in your business should you join this group. It's absolutely free. All right. And if you or someone you know might benefit from this, please do feel free to share it. I'm not going to, beg anyone to join, but I will say that if you know you need the help, if you know that you're listening to this now and thinking, my goodness, there's some bits of my business I haven't really sorted out yet, then maybe we should have a conversation, and you can join me absolutely free in my group. I'm widening the net, so to speak. So you have some very quick questions to ask that you're asked before you join. And if you ask those correctly and you're an existing business and you're based in the UK, yeah, we'll have a chat. You can be part of the community, and I'll be teaching lots of stuff in there absolutely free. That's where all the good stuff is. And then if you want to then learn and apply and have a coach, you can work with me for less than £12 a week. And I'll teach you how to get the actual results step by step with videos and workbooks and exclusive checklists and things like that you don't see on the outside, right? It's an insider club. It's very exclusive. So just to say, you want to make sure you got your goals. Make sure you've got some kind of objectives that you're working towards. They don't have to be a sales goal, but it helps if it is, doesn't it? Especially if you want to grow your business. Get clear on your audience, what you're telling them, what you're offering. Communicate the benefits. Have a way to generate leads, even if you're not a coach. Have a way to collect information and get people to opt in to what it is you do. And the reason you get people to opt in is because then they don't get cross with you when you send out an all-person broadcast on WhatsApp, or you send out an email and they've never ever given you permission to email them, right? Get your permissions sorted out. Get your GDPR sorted out. All right, and then my final point is around pace and monitoring. So you really want to be making sure that if you are doing the sensible marketing ahead of April, you are clear on how consistent you can be. You're also clear on when you want to show up on your terms, not on a guru or expert's terms where they're telling you to go live every day and post every 5 minutes. Get clear on your capacity to grow. Because some of us are in 9-to-5 jobs. Some of us have got little ones we look after. Some of us have got elderly relatives we're caring for. And you cannot show up every day. So please don't try to. Do what you can manage. Think about your pace. Get clear on why you're doing what you're doing. And then make sure you've got a way to monitor what you are putting out. So if you're doing tactics like video, what feedback are you getting back? How long are they viewing your video for? How many leads are you generating? Is anybody buying anything from the video as a result of you doing a video where you're demoing something? Because that's quite telling, isn't it? If you're telling people to go to your website and when you look at your website hits, nobody's going, or people are only staying on your website for 19 seconds and then they're leaving, that is telling. That tells you that you need to do something about your website in terms of navigation, right? The aesthetics of it maybe, and even your image download times. There's lots of things we've got to make sure we're monitoring in order to have successful months in business. And I'm not going to tell you about 6-figure, 7-figure months, because actually many of the people that I work with and attract to my business, although some of them make 5K a month, 3K a month, 4K a month, that's great. But I know the majority of you just want to live comfortable and have enough money that you can travel and do fancy things as and when you want to. The material stuff actually for my community, most of the people in my community, is a minutiae in the grand scheme of things, because you know that you have a product or service that other people can benefit from, and you also know deep down that irrespective of whether someone paid you or not, you'd probably still do what you do. Am I right? Let me know in the comments if I'm on the right path here, right? If you want to make an impact, there's nothing wrong with calling people out and saying there's a fee for it. And if you've got valuable stuff you're giving away, also rethink that as well, because you don't have to give away everything free. However, understand that we're not all trying to be out here hustling, and it's okay if you don't want to hustle. It's okay if you don't want to show up every 5 minutes doing a video. It's okay if you don't want to be on Instagram. It's okay if you don't want to do Facebook groups just because the gurus tell you to. I am a branding and marketing practitioner. I've been doing this now for 25 years. And what I teach is based on what I know. Actually, I'm literally a one-stop shop. There's a lot of things I don't know, so I pay other people to either teach me or they do it for me. And what I will say to you is, I'm comfortable saying when I don't know something, I don't know it all. But what I do know is what I teach on. So if you're part of my community or you've ever done a 30-day program with me, right, you already know that I always get transformation for my clients, especially if they're committed to putting in the work. And I will go over and above and pour into any clients that I work with just to see you winning. Right? And in all honesty, if I didn't have bills and, 2 children under 8 and 2 children over 18, I probably wouldn't care about the pay, if I'm honest. Because many of you know that I built my business from £100 to where it is now. Yeah, Forbes featured, multi-award winning, right? Top 100 of UK entrepreneurs as voted by B-Mogul and endorsed by Mayor of London. There's many things I've got. I'm a Chartered Institute marketeer, right? I'm actually endorsed by 2 companies that hire me as their mentor, right? So I mentor people, as well as being a coach and consultant in my own business. So just rest assured that if you want to have a sensible April, the tips I've given to you today can be applied to any month actually, but I made it relevant. Do you see that? I made it relevant to what's coming. Understand your strengths. Do very well at communicating those strengths. Don't let anyone hold you back. And also don't shy away from asking for help. If you need the help, trust me, when you get that help, just as I did, 18 months into launching my business, 18 months I waited, 18 months I wasted. Let me rephrase that. And the minute I started investing was when the level up happened, and I've never looked back. I've paid $3,500 for courses, and I've never looked back. I've invested in experts to teach me how to do email marketing so that I can now teach my clients how to do that. I've invested in people to teach me how to do sales, because before I was actually doing this role here, I was actually in sales. After becoming a graduate, before I was a graduate, I was selling for BT. Then I got onto their graduate program. So a lot of the expertise I have is what qualifies me. My clients' results qualifies me because I've actually done what I talk about, which is very different from a lot of people that will tell you what they've done with support of a team. I have done everything I talk about. I can show you what I've done. And if you ever access any of my courses, you'll already know that, right? Take care. Here's to your success. And make April be the best month yet, because for some of you, you would have gone from January, February and March. You won't have seen the results. You won't have wanted to invest in your business. And because of that, you've held yourself back. You're happy being here when actually you deserve to be right up there. Think about that, and I'll speak to you later. If this has resonated with you, please do share it. Tag me in. I'll send you a nice freebie. Take care. Bye for now.